In this video, I'll be showing my first rounds through the KelTec P32 chambered in the venerable 32 ACP cartridge. If you're unfamiliar with this gun, I've got a recent video linked up here in which I cover the basics of the pistol and why I'm testing it. I do want to forewarn you that the footage that you're about to see here in this video has some kind of rough audio. I record in the mountains on public land in like northern central Utah, and we had a pretty bad windstorm that was passing through on the day that I recorded this footage, but I still wanted to share my first rounds for this tiny pistol. So, with that, enjoy the footage. Alrighty, first rounds for the KelTec P32. I'm just shooting here at 3 yards. I'll back up to 5 and 7 once I've gotten through the first magazine. Shooting Fiocchi 73 grain 32 ACP. Starting with one of the OEM Metgar mags, and then I'm going to move to the 2 aftermarket flush fit mags, and then try out the extended mag at the end here. So, let's get to it. We actually locked open on empty there. This is just 3 yards, shooting kind of quickly. My grip isn't fantastic on this because this is my grip on the gun. Even with support hand, I really can't come in too tight. I'm certainly pulling the gun a little bit to the left here. I will say that I didn't forget how soft 32 ACP is. However, I am pleasantly surprised by how soft 32 ACP is. We're trying out the first of our aftermarket mags. The gun locked open on empty there. On this gun, your slide lock is also your ejector. So I have a theory, and again, I don't know this, so I'm just kind of saying what I've seen. I think that the gun locks open on empty only really when it's firing. In monkeying with it at my workbench, it was only intermittent in it actually locking open on an empty magazine. So yeah, I think that's part of this because there's no external slide release. So let's come up here, shoot. We locked open there, and we come down to our target. I have more hits that are vertical, but I still have a couple that are off to the side here. We'll go back to 7 yards. That aftermarket magazine, it's not a Metgar mag, but I can't tell if it's an aftermarket one or a KelTec in-house magazine. In the literature for this gun, it showed that it shipped with Metgar mags. And my extended magazine is this weird one that has the KelTec frame material further down, so, but it locked open. One thing with this gun is that it actually does feel fairly jumpy in the hand. Like, the gun itself is not moving, but I feel like my fingers are slipping. This gun might be a good candidate for getting stippled here in the near future. Let's come up here. We're going to grip really hard. I sunk that one really low. This is where the kind of crappy sights are starting to play a part here. I'll show it, I already showed it in the tabletop, but I mean, we have sights here, but they're nearly non-existent. But for showing our hits here, my first one, I sunk low, but everything else is in the black. My thing is that this gun, light recoil, relatively easy to shoot. Obviously with this extension it's going to be very easy to shoot, but the sights are very tiny. But that's part of why this gun works so well for its intended purpose of being like a super deep concealment gun, is because it's very, very lightweight, very tiny. I wouldn't mind seeing Ruger take a chance at actually trying to do like an LCP in 32, because the Ruger guns are made better than these are. So let's come up here and see. And we still locked open on empty there. I sunk too low because I was just kind of pulling the trigger. On this, you really have to row the trigger. It's very much, it's a double action only trigger, but it doesn't function like a double action only hammer. You kind of have to row it. And that was my first few magazines through the KelTec P32. Overall, I'm impressed with the gun, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it was as reliable as it is, given the wear on it, and the fact that I had some aftermarket magazines. I'm really looking forward to testing this gun more as time goes on. I'm just not looking forward to paying the premium that 32 ACP goes for these days. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to join the community discussions over on Discord, a link to that is down in the description below. Again, thank you very much for watching.